Yes?
Is Iestyn in, please?
You mean Mr. Evans?
Would you mind telling him I'd like to speak to him?
Mr. Evans has had to be in London, seeing lawyers.
I know, but he was supposed to be coming back last night.
Well, he's resting after his journey. Can I give him a message?
Yes. Tell him Angharad called and couldn't get in. And would like to have an explanation whenever he's got a minute to spare.
Miss Morgan, then, is it?
That's right.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was about the bill for the wreaths. If you'd like to wait, I'll tell Mr. Evans you're here.
But will there be enough?
God, yes. Ample. Well, think what this place will fetch for a start.
You can't mean you're going to sell Tinnacoid?
Yes, of course. I mean, you didn't think I was going to hang on to it, did you, once the old man was gone?
But I'm sure Father took it for granted we'd stay on.
15 years, it'll be unsaleable. Imagine that view once the terraces creep a bit higher. Nothing but miners' cottages and lines of washing. Not to mention the tip.
We could plant more trees.
You can't shut out the coal dust or the noise. And you can never shut out the way those people feel about us.
Mr. Iestyn.
Yeah?
Angharad Morgan is here. And if she tries to make out that I was stopping her coming in, I thought it was the girl from Phillips. And no blame to me for that. Anybody might have thought the same.
All right, Nicky. Show her in.
Would you like me to go?
Please yourself. Stay and meet her first, though.
Miss Morgan.
Angharad? Come on in, Rosebud. Blodwyn, this is Angharad Morgan, of whom we've often heard me speak, or more accurately, babble. Angharad, my sister Blodwyn.
How do you do?
It's very nice to meet you, Miss Morgan. Iestyn has told me so much about you.
I've said that already. It's your fault. You're making her nervous. She always talks in clichés when she's nervous. Come and sit down.
Thank you, but I think I'd rather stand.
Oh, dear. Well, Blodwyn, if you're waiting your chance to make a timely exit, I should make it now. All the signs are she's going to erupt. You wouldn't want to get hit by falling lava.
Well, if you'll excuse me, then...
I'm sorry.
No, not at all.
I've just seen the announcement in the Times.
Yes, I rather gathered.
I'd like to know the meaning of it.
What I would dearly like to know is who on earth in the Morgan household takes the Times.
Oh, so you thought I wouldn't see it?
Obviously.
Well, what was the point in it? Did you really think you'd be able to marry me without me finding out?
My finding out. I was correcting your grammar, Rosebud. Perhaps not the best moments for it, but one has to peg away at these things.
To hell with my grammar, why...
Come and sit down.
No, I won't.
You will. Oh, bloody well. Come and sit down. Now then.
If you don't let go, I'll scream.
Is that supposed to frighten me? That's better. Now, you're going to listen?
Of course I am. That's what I came for, isn't it? Stupid you are.
Oh, they're stupid you are, Iestyn.
Never mind making fun of me. Why did you put lies about me in the paper?
It wasn't a lie, it was the truth. It's a bit premature, that's all. The idea was that I would come home, I would say, marry me, and you would say, yes, please.
What made you so flaming sure that I would say yes at all, let alone yes, please?
No, well, of course, I am a very good catch.
You're the most conceited person I've ever met.
So, when you allowed me to roll you in the heather and take other liberties, which we won't go into, I was surely entitled to think that your intentions were honourable.
I think you're horrible.
Ah, but irresistible.
Oh, you've changed.
That's right, I've got power now. I feel considerably enlarged. I even feel magnanimous. So let's do the thing properly and get the matter settled, shall we? My dear Angharad, I am bewitched by your wild beauty, and unless I can call you mine, all my wealth is as dross. Will you marry me?
Why did you put it...
No. I asked my question first.
Oh, all right, but why did you put
Excuse me, just so there should be no more mistakes. Oh, all right means that you will marry me.
Yes. I suppose so.
Good. Now then, you were saying?
Why didn't you ask me first, before putting it in the paper? I mean, where was the hurry?
I'll tell you if you like. It may not please you very much.
Go on, then.
Well, I was in London, you see, and I'd fallen among lawyers and aunts and other prudent people. And they thought you were a bad idea. I was afraid of losing my nerve.
Perhaps you ought to have listened to them. Perhaps you'd be sorry.
Oh, no doubt. Repent at leisure. Most married people do, I believe. But it'd be even worse if I didn't marry you. I'd never get you out of my system then. So that's why I decided to cross the Rubicon. Not that Miss Angharad Morgan has ever heard of the Rubicon.
I'll have heard of it by tomorrow, because I'll ask you.
Ah, so that's where you pick up your smatterings, is it?
I know more than you think about lots of things.
About lots of other things, we have vast areas of pitch-black ignorance. Is it also Hugh reads the Times, by the way?
No, Yanto and Owen. They bought all the London newspapers, looking for jobs.
See? Well, we must do something about your dressmaker, too, by the way. God save the mark. Whoever made those things you're wearing ought to be shot. Who was it?
Me.
Ooh. Well, you will be reprieved if you promise never to do it again.
Easy enough. Hate sewing anyway. Some things about all this are going to be very nice.
Splendid. Only you shouldn't be looking at the fireplace when you say things like that. You should be looking at me.
So, where's Angharad then?
Taking her off to Newport in the trap.
Oh, it's still on then.
Oh, they're like that all the time. Kiss and scratch, kiss and scratch.
Only the night before last.
I know. She was calling him all the names she could lay her tongue to. And you know, when he dropped her outside the front door, he G'd up the horses before she could get her foot to the ground. She nearly went flat on her face. And you know, he never even looked back to see was she all right.
Oh, no.
What do you think about it, Dad?
Well, I don't know, indeed.
Worried he is. Yet he used to be the one to stick up for the Evanses when everybody else was blackguarding them.
Well, the old man has his point, see? Like, for instance, he always find a man a job when the dust got to him. Not like some, just throw them out. But this young one, man, well, I don't know. They're going at everything so headlong, man. Not giving themselves time enough to spit.
Have they fixed a day yet?
No. Gone off now for another fitting in this new shop. And you watch. She'll come back here again, loaded up like a Christmas tree. Well, I tell you, Bron, you want to go upstairs there and see what's there already. There's frocks, shoes, hats, petticoats, gloves. There's boxes and parcels piled up and flowing out under the landing.
Well, are you getting anything for yourself then?
Well, I thought I would have my grey silk turned and get some new braid for it. And then just get a nice new hat.
Oh, yes, very nice.
Will his people be coming down for it?
Well, he hasn't got much close relations. He only had that one sister.
What does she think of it then?
Well, you know, I've never talked to her. There's not many that have. The old man used to keep her pretty much squashed down by all accounts.
Where will they have the reception? Tinnacoid, is it?
I think so. Oh, but they don't try to have it here. Your mother'll be spinning for a month.
Don't suppose they'll have the ceremony in Calvaria now, will they?
Oh, no, it doesn't look like it. The vicar read out the banns in St. David's last Sunday.
Well, it'll be much better, really, because of poor Mr. Griffiths. I was standing right next to him when Mrs. Price came up to him after chapel and asked him what he thought of the engagement. Splendid, he said, but, oh, God love him, you could see it in his eyes. I could have cried.
Oh, damn! Going on?
I can certainly do some help, yeah.
What do you need on out?
I just want to get rid of it.
Not if it breaks.
No.
Come on there. Right, you got under there, put you. Hey! Having a good turnout, is it?
No, there were some insects underneath it.
Never bugs?
No. Silverfish.
I've done all new now then.
Well, what I was considering... come in, see what you think.
Yes.
Was polishing the floorboards and leaving it bare.
Ooh, bit of a job there, boy.
Yes, need emery paper.
Well, that's right.
Looks like a what's name? What do you call it? Monk's Place.
Monastery.
Monastery.
Yeah. Still, it'll soon fill up, though.
Oh, there's people with plenty of pet back to give away, you know, pictures, vases, that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Bit of cocoa matting down here. Tablecloth.
Oh, no, I've got everything I need.
Wobbly.
Well, yes, I was thinking of replacing that. I thought I might get some timber into it myself. You know, spend a lot of time on it, make a good, solid job of it.
Now, what's the idea like? I mean, having it like this?
Oh, well, it saves a lot of time, doesn't it? Cleaning.
Whoa, they never let you, man.
Who's they?
Well, damn women, man. They'll be buzzing around here like flies. Frilly curtains, fringy cushions. Them bits of velvet with bobbles on you pin on the mantelpiece.
Well, I was hoping if I could fend them off for the first few weeks, they might get used to the idea and gradually give up trying.
Mr. Gruffydd, they'd never give up trying, man. The only place a man is safe round here is down the pit. I reckon that's why we've been half-soaked about pushing for the 8-hour day.
I see they never succeeded in breaking you in, Di.
Oh, that's because there's two of us, see? That's a secret. You know, me and Camartha, we're the only ones round here, apart from a couple of old widowers, who never let a woman in through the front door in the last 10 years.
That's right, Mr. Griffith. You need anyone to look after yourself, any tips at all, you just come to Diane me, see.
Hey, I know a fella let you have some timber for the table, and he won't try and look you neither.
Wait a minute, I know we can get a lathe for turning the legs on. Oh, in Morgan's. Now he's gone to London, there's no one using it, see.
Hey, there's some stuff going in that house for a girl of theirs, aye. You know, they pile in more in there than he would put it out by here.
Yeah, I might use the lathe later on. Yeah, how are you coming on with young Hugh, by the way? You still giving him lessons, are you?
Oh, he's down to once a week now, see?
Yeah, he's coming on pretty fair, isn't he, Dad?
Are you still giving him lessons, Mr. Griffith?
Nah, well, nothing regular. But he drops in now and then for a chat, to borrow a book, you know.
You know, I reckon between the two of us, we made a good job of that boy.
Oh, yes.
There's not much he got to learn now that anybody around here can teach him.
Will she be having bridesmaids?
I don't know.
Does Mr. Evans come to her house to call for her?
Sometimes.
You?
What?
Willie's coming to your house and he's going out again and she's seeing him to the door. Does he give her a kiss?
I don't know.
Well, you live there.
Yeah, but I'm not watching them, am I? Look, what do you want, Kindman? Are you following me or what?
No, I was going down that train wheel.
Well, go on then. Stop hanging around. Two.
Gareth, you know, Bronwyn's boy. Oh, he looks sweet.
Too young.
Rubbish.
Listen, Angharad, I don't want any of this inane tribal ritual. I'm being manoeuvred into it by a whole phalanx of grisly kith and kin.
Who are you calling?
I freely admit that mine are just as grisly in their own way as yours, but one has to draw the line somewhere, otherwise we'll end up with Dai Bunder proposing the toast and Gibraltar obliging with one of his scatological songs. What do you want?
You rang the bell. I thought you wanted something.
Yes, so I did. How about some tea?
I should think you could do with it, indeed. After all the shouting coming from here.
We'll be thankful when all this is over and we can sell up and move out.
Sell up what?
Why, this, all of it.
Sell to acheive?
Well, don't you start, please. I've had enough from Blodwyn.
But where would we live? There aren't many houses like this round here.
I don't want to be round here. I detest the place.
But then how will you be able to run the colliery?
Can you see me running a colliery? Oh, the old man, yes, it was the apple of his eye, but me he wanted made into the second-rate image of a gentleman. That's roughly what he got. Now, of course, I shall sell the colliery, too.
Do you mean we'll never come back here?
I shall make damn sure I never come back.
Can I talk to you a minute?
Well, yes, of course. Won't you sit down? Oh, I'm sorry.
About the wedding.
I'm afraid you've come to the wrong man.
Have I?
Yes, Mrs. Morgan. I don't know what your query is, but it's the vicar you should be speaking to. It's a church wedding.
I don't think I am coming to the wrong man. Angharad is doing that.
I don't think I'm capable of discussing this.
Hugh told me he's heard her crying in bed.
Maybe he was wrong. Maybe she was fatigued. Maybe she was overwrought.
Oh, Mr. Griffiths, none so blind as those who won't see.
I don't know how it is with her. All I can do is hope and pray that she is and will be well. I pray for that every night. I'm the last man in the world to make a rational assessment of the situation. If you know enough to come and talk to me like this, then surely you must realise the truth of that.
Well, perhaps I can see more clearly then, because I've got nothing to gain either way.
We have absolutely no right to interfere.
I wonder.
After they're married, I've seen it happen over and over again. Marriage is a most powerful sacrament, believe me. We must trust in God to find a way of working out his will. And they have everything to smooth their path. Youth and health and freedom from any real hardship. And I cannot believe that anybody could live with Angharad and not be better for it.
So you are throwing it all on God, then?
Yes, surely. I can think of no better way.
But you don't preach that to the men. You don't say lie down under wrong things and trust in God. You say stand up and fight, because God can only work through us and what we do.
In this case, there is nothing I can do.
Go and talk to her.
What then? Bronwyn, I am a middle-aged man who has nothing to offer her. Because I never was the way she saw me. No, it would be monstrous selfishness. it would end in misery and remorse.
I just thought I'd come and try.
Yes, I understand that. And I understand that you did it for Angharad's sake.
Partly for Angharad's sake. I suppose it wouldn't enter your head that someone might want to do something for your sake. Oh, well. So, leave it then, you think? I hope you're right.
I hope so, too.
Only the terrible thing that keeps running through my mind is like Margaret. She went to the wrong man and she thought she was doing the sensible thing too. And God never found any way of putting that right.
Oh, did you say when you'd be back?
I'm afraid not. Did you want it for anything important?
No, just felt like getting out the house.
I would have thought it would have been a very happy house.
Oh, yes, it is, most of the time.
Won't you sit down for a bit? Would you like some lemonade?
Oh, yes, please.
Are your people happy about the engagement?
Oh, yes, they're very pleased for me. Everybody keeps congratulating them.
Nicky, could we have some of your nice lemonade, please?
How many?
Just 2.
He's gone off then, has he?
Mr. Yeston is out, yes.
How long has she been here?
Always. She was our nanny, you know. A nursemaid. She brought us up. Mother was never very strong and she died when I was 6.
Oh, I see. That's why you're afraid of her.
Afraid of... What a strange thing to say.
Well, not afraid exactly, but you always fall over yourself to stop her getting cross.
I'm not a very brave person.
I don't know, you put up with it. Between her and Yeston.
Well, if you think this is hard, what do you think will happen to me now?
I don't know. What then?
Yeston's selling this house. I lived here all my life and now he's turning me out.
Oh, I never thought about that side of it.
No, I know.
It would be easier with it in the middle, wouldn't it?
Maybe it would, and maybe it wouldn't. But up to the present, Miss Morgan, it's my place to take orders from Mr. Yeston and Miss Blodwyn. Nobody else.
I wasn't giving orders to anyone. I just said it would be better by year, and so it would. Don't worry. One of us could easily shift it. We're not helpless.
All right, Nicky. Thank you very much. That's lovely.
Shall I?
Yes, please. You see, it isn't really worth causing unpleasantness after all these years. Especially for such a short time.
Where will you go afterwards? What's the matter?
No, it's nothing. Oh, I'm so stupid. I'm sorry. Well, there's nowhere, you see, and no one. Well, there is Aunt Claire in Liverpool. She might take me in, but... No, the whole family despise me. I couldn't sit at their table for the rest of my life. I know it's a sin, but I'd rather walk out into the sea and die.
Couldn't you buy a place somewhere?
My father left everything to Yeston. Oh, I have a small annuity. Might cover a tiny room in some very cheap boarding house.
If Yeston kept this house, you could stay on. He doesn't want to live in it.
I know.
He can't really need the money, not if he's selling the colliery as well.
I know.
I did ask him once not to sell it, and he wouldn't listen to me.
I know, he told me.
Well, just have to ask him again then, isn't it?
I wonder if Ianto and Owen will come down for the wedding. I'm not at all sure about my grey silk now. It's a terrible job turning anything with pink tucks. Gwilym.
What?
I counted this afternoon. There's 4 from your side that will be wanting to come from away, and 6 from my side. Now, if I ask Maggie next door, she can find room for 3, then 2 in Hughes' bed and Hugh on the couch. And after that, I'll have to borrow mattresses and put them on the floor. Isn't it? Oh, and Gwilym.
What now?
Mrs. James said that Christmas Evans, his cousin in Cheltenham, has been turned into a magistrate. Now, suppose if we meet him to talk to him, isn't there something special you're supposed to call a magistrate? Your worship. Is it?
Or is it my lad?
Every time I do think about it, my stomach goes round and round.
And if I did agree not to sell it, then the next thing would be you'd want me to come back and live in it.
I don't think that.
You don't even try and see things my way, do you?
Try? Yes, I'm trying.
I want to take you out of this place. I want to open your eyes. All these people, I can understand you're fond of them and all that, but they think this place and its standards are the whole world. Harold, I mean this. It's not going to work if you won't let go. I'm not going to marry the entire clan.
I'm not asking you to. It's not fair to say that.
All right, then. It's fair play you want. I'll make a bargain with you. I will take Tynecoid off the market on one condition.
What's that?
It may sound a bit drastic, but I'm sure it's the only way.
What is it?
He can have it when he likes, but tell him to pick a day soon, that's all, not leave us all on hot bricks here.
Any day except the 10th.
The 10th?
Well, we couldn't
Well,
say.
where have you been living, girl?
Oh, yes, the Eisteddfod. I'd forgot.
Oh, this must be the only house in the valley where anyone could say that. In our house, we've been living and breathing it for weeks.
Are we going to win the male voice this year, Eva?
We're going to have a damn good try.
Win it, we're going to walk it, man. There's not a choir to touch it anywhere.
I was walking down Gyfeillion Street last night when they were practicing and the sound was coming out of there, and as God is my witness, I couldn't have moved another step. I could feel my hair trying to lift up, and my spine was like crawling with it, and my throat closing up as if I was going to cry my eyes out.
And I've still got a few weeks left to bring them right up to the mark.
So, Gareth, you better remind Yest in this town will be half empty on the 10th.
Yes. It'd be terrible if they had to choose between going to back up our Eva and seeing the wedding.
Yes, it would.
They won't have to choose.
Well, there you are then.
I told you she could sort it out.
They won't have to choose because...
Because what?
Because none of them are going to be seeing the wedding anyway.
You've broken it off, then?
No. But it's going to be in London.
In London?
Well, Meryl.
Well, how soft that is.
It'll be a bit awkward, won't it?
I mean, is he expecting us to go traipsing all the way up there?
No.
You mean you don't want us there? Not any of us?
I'm sorry.
Well, that's straight anyway. Are we not good enough or what?
No. There's nobody from his side there either, only the best man.
Oh, that tope, that is.
What's got into him?
He just doesn't want all the fuss.
Well, Mum, you won't have to buy new after all, then?
Well, that's lucky, isn't it?
Oh, it'll save a lot of work and bother for you, Beth.
Yes, it's the best thing, really, when you come to think of it. No end of an old pot it would have been.
Oh, Mum. Be much better, really. Because, look, we haven't got Angharad for very much longer. And this way we can have her to ourselves for a couple of weeks, and then before she goes, we'll have a party of our own. Yes, with none of the old crachach looking down their noses at us. And we'll open the last couple of bottles of parsnip wine.
Better open them now, then.
What?
Open them now. I've got to go and pack in a minute. He wants me to go with him to London tomorrow morning. Stay there until the wedding, and then straight off to Paris and then Berlin, so... Oh, Mum, it'll be all right. Honest now. Everything's all right.
Right.
Oh. Oh, I thought everyone had gone.
Just about. They had a lovely time.
I think so.
It was too hot, if anything.
Well, it always seems to go to extremes for the Sunday school treat. Last year we were shivering. Thank you for the cakes. Yours always seem to go first.
Oh. Surprising what they get through, isn't it? Hey. Don't look that silly.
Oh, it isn't very appetizing, does it?
Have you had anything?
Well, I did come in for some, Oh, I know, that was when Mansell fell off the donkey.
Mr. Gruffydd, you come back to our house and have a proper tea. It's been a long time. And I've got a nice piece of raspberry tart kept back. There you are. Won't be long now. Sit down, Mr. Gruffydd.
You're going to the ice for next week, are you?
Yes, going on Tuesday to be sure for the choral competition. I think half the town is going. And have you heard about the Saturday?
No, or what?
Well, they are trying to get for all the choirs from all the valleys to be there together and have a practice all the morning and sing for the people at night. It'll be the last go-off on Saturday to crown the week. There'll be near enough 1,000 voices there.
Oh, beautiful.
And guess who they are asking to conduct it?
Oh, you must be proud of him.
It's from Gwilym's side he gets the music. With me, I can feel it inside, but I never had much of a voice.
Have you had any news from London?
Oh, a little scribble of a letter came yesterday. Some old church they're having it in. Place will be empty. She asked me for the address of the boys' lodgings in London, so I hope she will go and see them, whatever.
You weren't opposed to the match, were you?
Oh, no use me talking to her when she gets set on anything. I don't know if he's the right one for her. She have got so deep lately, there's no way of telling. I wish someone would have had a serious talk with her. Someone she would have listened to. Oh, you're back then? Hey! Look who's here.
Hello, Mr. Gruffydd.
Well, what's the matter with you then?
Beth?
Yes?
Very much, Mr. Morgan. It's ever so kind of you now, honestly.
Can you do something with this little girl? She's walked 3 miles to the Sunday school treat to see some of her friends in the races. And now she's dying of thirst from being out in the hot sun.
Well, indeed. What would you like, Bach?
Oh, I don't want to put you to any trouble, Mrs. Morgan. If I could just have a cup of water, please, that would be lovely.
Well, of course, with pleasure. Hugh, fill a cup, will you?
All right, Mr. Gruffydd.
Mr. Morgan.
But I would have thought you could have got some nearer than this if you thought to ask.
Oh, but I did ask somebody.
I'm sorry not to tell you, Beth, but the one she happened to ask was your youngest son.
Well, what's to be sorry in that?
Tell her what he said to you.
Told me to chew grass.
Hey, is this true what this girl says? Hey, did you tell her to chew grass?
Thanks very much.
Well, my mouth was dry too, and that's what I was doing.
I don't understand him. If he'd have seen a dog with his tongue hanging out in this heat, he'd have dropped everything. And when I happened to come along, there she was standing next to him, crying her eyes out. Well, I wonder what he'd said to her.
It wasn't happened at all. She just saw you coming. That's why she thought she'd cry.
Oh, go on, boy. Nobody can cry real tears like that if they're only joking. Well, I don't know what's got into him. I really don't. Well, look, if you've come all that way, you'd better have a bite before you go back.
Oh, thank you very much, Mrs. Morgan. But I don't want to be any trouble.
Oh, come on. Sit down there, Bach. Do you like raspberry tart?
Oh, yes, please.
Yes.
What do you do if a girl keeps following you around?
Well, it depends.
On what?
Well, first of all, how much do you like her?
I can't stand her.
No. Well, if you're as sure as that, it's very simple, isn't it? You know what you want to do. The only question is how to do it. Incidentally, if you're thinking of Cynwen, I think you could put it a little less aggressively. She's still got the point soon enough. No, it's when you are fond of them, that's when it gets really much more difficult.
Excuse me, Mr. Griffiths, but that sounds a bit silly.
Oh?
That's because if a girl kept following somebody around, and if he was keen on her too, well, that'd be great, wouldn't it? I mean, he'd have to be no end of a fool to see any problem in that. I mean, wouldn't he?
A fool? I suppose he would, yes. Trouble is, Hugh, the world is full of them.
It's a funny smell here too. Musty.
Well, we're not in here much because we work a lot of overtime. We're trying to send a bit back to Mam every month till she's finished squaring up after the strike.
Hello, Yanto. You haven't spoken a word to me yet.
I'm waiting to find out what you've come here for. If it is only to sneer, you can fly off back to your posh gentleman friend as quick as you like.
There's no need to call him that. I'm getting married to him next Tuesday.
So I've heard. I think you're a bloody fool, but that's your affair. What do you want of us?
Well, the point is, nobody's coming up from Wales. Evo's conducting a
You say what you mean. Nobody has been asked.
Anyway, Easton's getting a friend from Oxford to be best man, but there will be the question of who will give me away.
Now look, Angharad. As far as I am concerned, if you marry Iestyn Evans, you have gone completely over to the other side.
You won't do it then?
Speak up in the church and say that this thing has got my blessing on it. You must have lost your brains as well as your loyalty. You'd never have dreamt for a minute that I would.
I see. Owen?
Aye, I'll do it. If I'll be any good.
Do you think it is right to give her away to a man like that?
Look, for all we know, it may turn out all right. And even if she has been a fool, like you say, it's mostly to herself.
I didn't ask if you thought it would pay. I asked, is it right?
Yes, I know what you mean. I used to be very strong myself on right and wrong and wickedness and so on. Used to be so sure about it. Like you are. Only being as sure as that can make you very hard on other people. I don't suppose you'd have noticed, boyo, but I've given it up. Well, I'll have to take a day off work then. Where do you want me to come?
Give me the other towel, then.
All right, here you are.
Oh. Right, give me that now.
No, you can read it later.
What does it say?
Oh, nothing. Just that they have moved from Paris to Berlin. And she has got a bridal suit, whatever that is. I thought she had enough clothes, whatever.
Bridal suite, girl. It's a room in a hotel.
Mum! Dad!
What on earth is the matter?
We have had a letter.
Oh, diwedd, no, so have we. Oh, dear, you give me a real turn then. I thought something was wrong.
I knew it was something special by the crest.
What do you mean, crest?
On the envelope. I wouldn't open it till Ivor came home because it was his name on it, but I don't know how I've held myself. It's been burning a hole in the mantelpiece. Read it, Dad.
All right, man. God almighty.
Gwilym?
Is true, Ivor?
Well, seems like it.
True as the gospel, it's there in black and white.
What? What is it? I mean, who's it from?
Well, it's from Buckingham Palace.
Never.
It's a royal command. Ivor's going to take out the big choir. And they're going to sing in front of the Queen. Hey. Don't go overdoing it now.
Well, I want to break the back within the next 3 or 4 weeks, because Mr. Mucho said it's bad to keep working right up to the exam.
You're straining your eyes there, are you? Wait a minute when I light the gas.
Oh, no, I'm packing in now anyway. Did you finish writing to Jan to annoy him?
Aye, letter's over there. Stamper and all ready for posting.
You told him the date of Ivor's concert, did you?
Yes, of course.
I wonder, would the Queen let the boys go in and listen? I mean, if Ivor put in a note saying they were his own brothers and they were living in London nice and handy...
Or he could pretend he had a choir of 1,002. I don't suppose you'd be counting. Here, I'll take it down to the box.
Oh, Juju. They're shooting up here. Last one. And soon he'll be gone too.
You're the one who keeps on pushing him. Scrimping and scraping and cutching away every threepenny bit to send him through college.
Well, he's working hard too, love him. And think how proud we will be when he gets there.
Will he be proud if he comes home acting like Yeston Evans?
How are you? Never in a million years.
Come in.
Mrs. Morgan?
Oh, dear.
Mrs. Morgan?
Yes, wait a minute. What is it?
Oh, Mrs. Morgan, will you take in Mrs. Price's goods? Because I can't get an answer there.
Yes, all right. Put them down there, will you?
Yes. It's all there, bar the knife powder, tell her.
Yes.
Oh, good evening, Mr. Morgan. Yes. Well, I'm just wondering, did I ever congratulate you on your Ivor winning the Eisteddfod with his choir?
Well, that's very nice of you, Mr. Elias. Mind you, it was a few weeks ago. Still, better late than never, I suppose.
Yes, indeed. The Morgans are in everybody's mouths lately. A good boy, Ivor. Pity your Yanto didn't turn out more like him. But still, perhaps the colliery would be willing to sign him on again now that your daughter's got so thick with Yestin Evans.
In the first place, Mr. Elias, the colliery didn't sack Yanto. He walked out.
That's right, he did, before he could have a chance to sack him.
And for another thing, he is not a pity at all, but a decent man with hundreds thinking the world of him.
And for another thing, Angharad isn't thick with Yestin Evans. She married him.
Oh, it's all lies, I know, what some are saying, but...
Dear.
Well, you can understand how they see it funny. All that fuss and then everything called off and nothing heard since,
Look,
you know.
there is a piece there in the London papers saying she was married. Now ask them, do they want me to put it in the front window for them or what?
That's right enough, too. I wonder why she made it that way, then. A family quarrel with him, I dare say, for marrying beneath him.
Please to come in. Gwil? Hi. Gwil, look who's here.
Oh?
This is Miss Blodwen Evans of Tynacoid. I don't know if you have met my husband.
No, hello.
Well, please to sit down, Miss Evans. Well, that is Mr. Elias the grocer there, who is just going. And could I ask you to move your cart, please, Mr. Elias, so when I get visitors, there is no room for their horses to pull up.
Mrs. Morgan, I hope you don't mind me coming round like this without any warning, but I wondered if you had any news from the continent.
We had one just this morning. Look. Now, if you sit down by here, you will have light to read it by.
Oh, may I? Are you sure?
With pleasure. Oh. Will you excuse me just a minute? There's something I forgot to ask him. Oh, Mr. Elias. If you see Bron and Ivor, would you ask them Have they answered the letter they got this morning from Buckingham Palace? From the Queen of England, Mr. Elias. From Queen Victoria.
I found her almost alarming at first. She's so unorthodox. You never know what she'll say or do next.
Well, that's true enough.
But when I got to know her better, I can't tell you how much I admire her. Well, she's so spirited and warm, and she's afraid of nobody. She's been very kind to me.
What? Angharad has?
Yes, indeed.
Well, it's nice of you to say so. Miss Evans, when I offered your brother a cup of tea and it wasn't tea time, he seemed to think it was a funny thing to do.
Well, I'd love one.
Good. Good. Gwyl, take a coat, will you, while I put the kettle on?
Aye. Come on now, Miss Evans. Take off her coat.
Now mind you put your trousers flat under the mattress before you go to bed. And hang your jacket up, not just dump it down like you do here. And clean white shirt in the morning, and there's a spare white collar for the evening. For the Queen.
Off then.
Yes.
Back on Tuesday.
Oi! Time to let him go now, girl.
Yeah, treat him on the pavement out there.
Oi! I never thought I'd see that day, Oh, leave over there, leaving a lovely wife to go and see some dumpy little old widow up in London.
Die, for shame, man, don't call her that.
Well, my opinion of her, I've gone up in need. I mean, she do like a bit of good music anyway. Did you come to the station with him?
No.
Oh.
Die.
Huh?
Come on.
Why?
They get off all right?
Oh, it was great. Dad, you ought to have come. They had to get extra carriages to go on the train, and when it went off, they were all hanging off the windows and singing louder than the steam.
Oh, I would have liked to have gone down myself. I was a bit afraid of the crush.
Oh, it's a good thing, Beth. Just as well that one or two of her left, treating it like a Sunday. Mr. Gruffydd will have a chapel 3/4 empty there.
And a quiet top of you is a problem.
You should have come home sooner. We've got no time to change now and come to chapel.
Oh. Never mind, I'll stay and do some maths.
If you can settle to it. Overexcited from the look of you.
Eh? Have you told him about,
Oh, no, I nearly forgot. Hey, that old girl has been here again.
What old girl?
You remember? She was here a couple of months ago, before you broke up school, day of the Sunday school treat. Came for a glass of water and ate her way through half a raspberry tart.
Kindwin.
That's the one. Lots of people came over from there to give the choir a good send-off.
So she's, gone home now?
No, it was you she was asking for. She's gone away, but she said she'd come back.
Staying here then?
What's the matter with you, boy? She won't bite you?
You don't know her?
Well, I don't know, indeed. She's improved a lot since last time.
Oh, she had she?
Well, I thought so, indeed.
Well, there you are. 16 is a great age for doing a bit of improving.
Well, I think I'll go down Bronze for a bit, out of the way, see?
It's you.
I saw the light upstairs, so I just came in. You don't mind?
Of course not. It's lovely to see you.
I didn't shut up in case he was just dropping off.
That's right. Hey, good job it was you, though, nobody else.
Why?
Well, doing my ironing on a Sunday, that's terrible, isn't it? If it had been Mr. Elias, he'd have been stomping up and down here with temper at the wickedness of it all.
I was just thinking the opposite.
How do you mean?
Oh, I don't know. Just thinking to myself that everything in this house feels good, and Oh, I don't know how to put it.
Oh, you old silly. It's only like everyone else's. Except, of course, we do happen to have the most marvellous kid in the Five Valleys. And his dad does happen to be a genius. We can't help that, can we?
And what about his mum?
Oh, nothing special about her. Only being so lucky. Oh, Hugh, it's been the most marvellous day. I haven't sat down since you were left. I've been so full up with feeling I had to keep doing things. It's only now it feels a bit funny him not being here.
I expect it does.
We look forward to this time of the day, when Gareth's gone to bed and come down here nice and quiet and have a cup of tea. Hey, you'll stay and have one, will you? It'll be mashed by now.
Yes, please.
Good. Biscuits in the tin if you want one.
Oh, no thanks. I'm not hungry.
Oh, right then. Now then, come to the table. And I'll sit down by here and be me, and you sit by there and be E04. And you tell me everything you've been doing with yourself all day. That's what we usually do. What's the matter, boyo?
What?
I said, what's the matter? You're miles away.
No, nothing.
Oh, it's all that old swatting, that's what it is. You ought to sit down by there and put your feet up on the fender and just relax. No books in your hand, just resting. That'll do you good.
No. I won't stay.
You're not rushing off already, are you?
Yes, I'm sorry. I can't stay.
Oh, what's your hurry?
I've got a lot of things to do, see? A lot of set maths, and then some revision, so I...
Well, that was a quick visit. Love me and leave me, is it?
Goodbye. Thanks for the tea.
You're welcome. Goodbye.
Hello?
How did you get in?
Door was open.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't locked, was it? Got tired of knocking. I was knocking for ages just now.
I was down bronze.
Yes, I saw you come back up. Didn't stay long, did you?
No.
Warm today, isn't it?
Aye.
Be a good time for the nightingales.
What nightingales?
Oh, you don't tell me you've forgotten.
What? Forgotten what?
You said you would take me up the mountain to listen to nightingales.
Who, me? No, I never.
Oh, you don't be such a fibber. You know you did. Because I said I didn't believe there were any there, and you bet me a penny and said you'll prove it.
It was years ago.
But you did promise. And I have never heard a nightingale. And I always wanted to. Didn't think you were the kind of boy who'd break a promise.
You can't go up there like that.
Why not?
Oh, you have to hang around and keep quiet for ages. You'd frighten them away.
I'll keep quiet, you honestly I will. I won't say a word.
Well, can't sit in the grass in that dress. You'll get all messed up.
I don't mind. I can easily wash it.
Well, what if the grass is damp? Because the Joe will be up before long and you'll catch a cold and I'll get the blame.
Wouldn't tell my mother I was up with you. Then if I catch cold, I'll take the blame myself. But the best thing would be if we take an old blanket up with us. And then we can sit on that and we won't catch cold at all. Oh, come on. Let's do that, is it you?
Daylight when she started back.
What's the matter?
He's my father. Oh my God, he'll kill me.
Dog, you want your boat with you, Mr. Lloyd? Aye.
Put me in prison.
I ought to.
You can't do that, girl.
Oh, they will call me up in chapel.
Do you know if she had anybody with her? I'll give you my Bible oath. I'll find out who it is if it's the last thing I'll do. And I'll be calling at his house with a cleaver.
you.